Okay, everyone, thanks for joining me today. My name is Chantel Wilkins. I am one of the implementation project managers here at Avidian Technologies. Today is our Start Right training number 2 to go over basic skills and best practices of profit. If you have any questions or anything like that, if you could put them in the chat window in the GoToTraining box at the bottom there of your GoToTraining console. And then at the end of today's call, we'll go over those questions. I have muted everyone, so you'll definitely want to put in those just so that we could all, hear what's going on and what I'm training on. So you'll want to put in your questions there in the chat window. All right. So the purpose of today's training and what we're going to be covering, we're going to keep it. It's going to go over the differences between records. So the differences between, what's your contact manager, your company manager, and your opportunity. Okay. And then we'll also go over best practices for creating opportunity records and how you guys can start building and managing your guys' pipelines and editing views and filtering and sorting so you guys can organize your data from there. Okay. The profit database that we're looking at, this is just our training module here. So the first thing is that when you guys have when your users have Profit installed, you're going to have your new Avidian Profit folders located over here, okay, within your Outlook, and you're also going to have your Profit tab right up here. Right now, during the client installation, all right. So once you guys have Profit installed, Profit during the installation will ask which Outlook contact folder you want to synchronize Profit with. Okay. Now, the contact folder, if I go over here to people, okay, the contact folder here, all right, all Outlook users have this folder. So under my contacts, and then it's just listed contacts here. And usually there's your email address listed right after it, okay. Now, all of these contacts here, these would automatically get synced into Profit during the installation, right? Now, if you have, for any of you guys that have personal contacts within your Outlook, right, the best practice is before you install Profit, go in and clean up your contact list, okay, you're in Outlook, and just any of your personal contacts, your family, friends, your kids' school, etc., just set them to private right here, okay? What that's going to do is that's going to allow you guys to manage your own personal contacts, all right, within Outlook, but they will not be synced into Profit and thus won't be shared amongst your team. Okay. Now, if you want, after you have Profit installed and you notice that, when you're in Profit and you notice a personal contact, you can still set it to private after the fact, but it's always good to advise your users to, go in and do that cleanup of your contacts up front so that they're not, they don't get concerned that they're sharing all their personal contacts with the rest of your Profit team. Okay. So once Profit is installed and it's pointed to this folder during the installation, Profit will anytime that you enter in, a new contact in Outlook or on your mobile device, your iPhone or your Android phone or a tablet, okay, or iPad, that will automatically update if you have that device synchronized with your Exchange. It'll automatically sync with your Outlook on your desktop and then also to Profit because Profit is reading into that folder. Okay, the Outlook contact folder that you have pointed to Profit is what we call our working contact folder. Okay, it's working between Outlook, Profit, and any other database or any other devices that you have synchronized with Exchange. All right, and this is also a topic that if you want more information or you need to verify or you just want to make certain of those, if you're a current client and are currently in implementation, ask your project manager and they will walk you through this process and your different options. Or if you're already an existing client of ours, contact your CSM, your client success manager. Okay, and we'll assist you with that. But you want to make sure that you and your users are all, speaking the same language, all right? So that they know which contacts are being pulled in from where. Okay, so once all those contacts are synced, okay, based on the user permissions that are granted from your Profit administrator, okay, those contacts will then be pulled into this Profit database, and right here we're in Contact Manager, right? You'll notice that each line item here is an individual person, okay? So if I double click this contact, okay, my Outlook contact card is going to open up, all right? So this is going to open up, this is going to show the first and last name, the company that they're associated to, the email, business phone, etc. This is all pieces of information that are just applicable to the individual person, okay? So the job title here, this would be Brendan's job title or his cell phone number, all right? Nothing changes here as far as Outlook goes. Okay, we're not reinventing the wheel. This is your same standard Outlook contact card that we've seen before. You can still use your categories. You can set contacts to private here, and that'll automatically sync up with your existing Outlook contact folder here under people. Okay, but notice we're not tracking any sales activity. We're not tracking revenue, activity types, when you want to follow up with this person, etc. Okay, we're going to get to that here in a second. Now, anytime that there is a company associated to an individual person, okay, what Profit is going to do, it's going to create a company record in Company Manager. Okay, now within Company Manager, you'll notice that each line item here, okay, is a business, all right? So if I double click on Baker, okay, this is all the company information pertaining to this business. So this is their company name, their main line, their corporate main line, their web page, their email address would be info@baker.com or, sales@baker.com, right? And then this is their corporate address here, okay? What Profit is doing is that it is just linking the Outlook contact cards being pulled from Contact Manager in your Outlook, and it is linking the Outlook contact card to this Profit company record, okay? You're going to know that you're in a Profit record because of our red logo right up here, all right? And how Profit is linking these two records together is based on the company name, okay? So if I have, if I put in Baker and then let's say another, another team Profit user on my team enters in Baker Inc. or Baker Company, okay? Profit would then create a duplicate company record, right? So it's important that these company names stay consistent, okay? The company name is the only piece of data that is linking the Outlook contact card from Contact Manager to this Profit company record, okay? Now, the purpose of the Company Manager is really just another way for you guys to manage your Outlook contacts, okay? So if you want to see everybody on an individual basis, you can go to Contact Manager and you can see each line item here, okay, for each individual contact, or you can go to Company Manager and you can see here each line item is a business, all right? Now, if you're on a Profit team and there are, when you guys sync up that Outlook contact folder, there's more than likely you guys are going to have duplicate records, okay? So, and what I mean by duplicates is, for example, right here, Avidian Technologies, all right? A user put in here, oops. A user put in here Avidian, Avidian Tech, and then Avidian Technologies, okay? Now, there is a way within Profit where you can merge these records together, okay? So once everybody gets Profit installed, syncs up that folder, and you see these duplicates, what I've done here is I've sorted this list by company name in ascending or descending order, okay? So I can see here, okay, there are 3 Avidians, which one do I want to keep, okay? What Profit is going to do is it is going to take the most recently updated record and use that as the default record, okay? So you still have some cross-referencing to do as far as, okay, do I want the one here in Redmond or Seattle, Bellevue, etc. Okay. Now, what I would, let's say that I want to keep this one where it says Avidian Technologies, okay? If I double click this record, okay, I'm just going to hit save and close, okay? Because Profit is now going to think that that's the most recently updated record. And you'll see here that the modified date time now just updated to today's date, okay? So now what I'm going to do is I can highlight 2 or more, right click, and say merge companies, okay? So do not change anything within this window. If you want to change something, so maybe, you want to change the address or you want to change the ship address, what have you, you want to change it in the physical company record. So you want to go back into the company record and make whatever change that you need, okay? Now, once I merge these records, so again, I'll highlight, right click, and say merge companies, okay? Okay, this looks great here. I'm going to hit merge. Now notice that there are, multiple contacts here. There's Chantel, Donald, Jeff, Hans, okay? So if I hit merge here, okay, and I double click this now one company record, all of my Outlook contact cards get now merged and linked to this one record, one company. And what Profit is doing is that because the company name is what links the contact and the company together, if I scroll over here, you'll notice that it updated all of the Outlook the company names in each of the Outlook contact cards. Okay, and that's through the company merge feature. Right. So what this will do, because I merged it here, it updated it in Contact Manager, but it'll also update in my Outlook. So if I go back to Contact Manager, and let's say that I search for, and I'm using my search view, and your go-to training might be covering this here, so you might need to minimize it. But if I go to my search view here and I type in Avidian Tech, okay, you'll see here that now all of my contacts, okay, are now linked, are now updated. Okay, so this contact card here used to say Avidian Tech. Well, now it says Avidian Technologies, and that was through the company merge feature. Okay, now if you want, if there are duplicate contacts, okay, in Contact Manager, the same rules apply. So you can, sort by whichever data field by clicking on any of these column headers here. And if you see a duplicate contact, you can merge those contacts together, and it'll take the most recently updated. Okay. All right. So I can highlight multiple, right click, and then merge contacts. Okay. Now, if there are multiple people assigned to any one record, any contact or company, so let's say that I enter in Brandon and then Brenda enters in another Brandon, but it has a different email address, or one has a phone number and the other one doesn't. Both of those users would then get assigned to that now one company record or that now one contact record. Okay, so you're not losing the user assignment. Okay. All right. Okay. Now, the main purpose of the company and contact manager is really just to be used as your guys' Rolodex for Profit. Okay. So, or excuse me, for your business, right? This is one shared database, again, based on the user permissions that your Profit administrator has granted you, the visibility. This is going to be one shared database of all of your business contacts and all of your companies. Okay. Same thing in the company manager. We're not tracking any revenue or, any follow-up, anything like that. Okay, this is, again, just one phone book of information. Where are these companies located? And who works for those companies? Okay. All right. Now, moving on to the opportunity manager. Okay. This is where your team is going to be spending 95% of their time. Okay, this is where a lot of the canned reports within Profit, the reporting features will be in our Start Right Training 3 that's scheduled tomorrow. But The opportunity manager is what feeds into this analytics report and also this profit dashboard. Okay, over here, these two folders here. All right. I'm just going to edit this view really quick. We'll go over this here in just a second, but I just want to get it to a place where so it looks similar to what you guys will be seeing. Okay. All right. So you'll notice here that we are tracking, here's the companies and the contacts that have opportunities. Here are the opportunity descriptions, the statuses, stages, etc. Okay. Now what you can do, anytime that you have anything that you're actively working on, and again, this is just a general use case, all right, for a sales team. We work with many different industries. But if we're just purely talking sales, anytime that you get a new lead or you have, an existing customer or a revenue generating opportunity that you need to work, that you're working with or need to follow up on, there should be an opportunity record created. Okay. The reason being is because in Company and Contact Manager, you can have, thousands of contacts and companies in there, but what you guys are working on, what you guys are actively working on, okay, should be segregated within the opportunity manager. All right. So to create a brand new opportunity, so let's say that I get a new lead. If I click on this drop down arrow next to new, and this is your profit toolbar right up here. Okay. If I click on the drop down arrow next to new, you will notice that it says new opportunity with record. What this means is it's going to take this company that I have highlighted here and these contacts and link it to a brand new opportunity. Okay, so this is if King's Landing LLC had multiple opportunities going on at one time. So that's a quick way to do that. Okay, so and that option was new opportunity with record. If I click on new opportunity here, okay, this is just going to be an empty blank record, right? So you do need to have a company and or a contact linked to an opportunity before you can save it. You do not need to have both, but you need to have one or the other, or both, okay? If I click on company here, okay, going back to the beginning of our training where the company is the business and all the contacts that are associated to that business, if I click on company here and I type and I search my options, I want to see all companies, and then I type in here Avidian. So this was the company that I had merged, and I click OK. It is going to link all of the contacts associated to Avidian Technologies to this one opportunity. Okay, so that was by me clicking on this company button. All right. Okay, now let's say that, I don't need all 6 of these people associated to this one opportunity. Maybe I just want one person that's my primary contact. Okay. If I go to my drop-down record here again, or my drop-down list here, and I go back to new opportunity, the other option is to click on the contacts button right here underneath the company button, and this is going to bring up your contact builder screen. Okay, so this is where you can search on, okay, I'm looking for Jeff. Okay, or I can say Smith. I'm looking for anybody with the last name Smith. Or I can type in even Avidian. Okay, and then this is going to bring up everybody that has Avidian as a company, right? So this way I can just select, okay, I want Jeff as my main point of contact for this opportunity. So I'm just going to hit add selected contacts. Okay, right. Now everybody is still linked to the company record. Okay, everybody is still linked here, right? But it's just Jeff that is the primary or, the point of contact for this particular opportunity. Okay. So the company button is going to link the company and all the contacts to that company, or you could click on the contacts button and you can search based on an individual. Neither option is wrong. Okay. It's really just based on what you need as an end user. Okay. Now, going back to this example where I clicked on the company button, let's say that you clicked on this by accident, you can back out of, all of this here. Okay, so I can go to my contacts tab and I can just click remove on all the contacts that I don't need for this particular, I don't need associated to this particular opportunity. Okay. Right. Then once you save and close it, then this, what's grayed out right here will refresh and update. Okay. Anytime that you see the remove button within Profit, you're not deleting the record, you're just unassociating it with a record. Okay. All right. So in this example, I clicked on the contacts button it still linked the company and Jeff, but now I'm going to go here to my opportunity description, and this is where I'm going to be putting in what is the purpose of this opportunity. So I'm going to put in here additional okay. Then here under the general tab, this is where your profit administrative team has already has the ability to customize these drop down values and these last 3 opportunity tabs to fit your guys' business structure. Okay, so under this general tab, I'm going to go, it'll always default to status and also the first stage. Okay, now the purpose of your status is to tell us, is this opportunity open or closed? All right, if it's active, that means that this is, you're still pursuing this opportunity. And then if it's closed, that means it's going to be one of these other options. Okay, so for the time being, we're going to keep this as active. Then I'm going to go here to stage. This is where I'm going to select, okay, now that I've identified this is an open or active opportunity, where am I at with this particular opportunity? This does not mean that I have to hit every single one of these stages. Okay, I can create this opportunity and maybe I'm already here at generating quote. Okay, what is the customer type? Let's say that he's an existing client. What's the priority of my opportunity? Let's say high. Where did I get this lead source? It was an existing relationship. And what's my time zone? So he is Eastern time zone. Okay. Over here is my probability to close. So I can say, okay, well, I've already sent him a quote. I'm going to say that this is at 80%. And when am I estimating to close this opportunity? So I'm going to go here and I'm going to say, okay, I'm not really sure. So I'm just going to push this out to April 1st. Okay. The revenue here, I'm going to say, okay, this is, right? That's what I quoted him. And then here, my next step action, next step date, if I put in here, need to call and follow up on quote sent. Okay. When I go to my next, this is my next step, my action that I need to take. When I go to my next step date, if I click on this date, this drop down here, I'm going to say, okay, I want to be reminded to do this on the 23rd of next week. What Profit will do and what's built within this feature here is that it'll automatically prompt you. Do you want to create an Outlook task for this date? And if I click yes, okay, this is going to open up my Outlook task template and it's going to put in, and Profit will automatically just populate the subject. So the first and last name, the company name, the phone number, and then also that text. Okay, this is not being sent out to Jeff. This is just going to default to your own task list. All right. And you'll notice here that the start, due date, and reminder are already set up for me. Okay. So when we all get those 15-minute reminders when a meeting's about to start, that's where these tasks are going to ping you to remind you. Okay. And you can change the time here to say, okay, I want to be reminded to do this, at 8:30. Okay. When I hit, you can also, maybe you need someone else on your team to follow up with Jeff on this quote, you can assign this task as well. And I can send this to another person for them to complete. And this task will show up in their inbox for them to either accept or decline. Okay. So if I hit save and close here, what this is going to do is that because I've created that task from the profit opportunity record, if I go to my tasks tab down below here, the task is now linked to this opportunity. So you can see all the tasks that, have, and the status of them, the priority of them, of all the ones that you've created or that have been linked to this opportunity record. Okay. Now here under your notes tab, okay, this is where, I would just type in, all my notes. I can copy and paste, text. There's no limit to how much text you can have here. And then I'm going to go to my activity type. Okay, this is the list that is also customizable by your profit administrator to be able to categorize your notes. Okay, so let's say that I emailed him. Right, so what Profit will do is it's going to put a date and time stamp, the user that modified it, and then also the activity type. Okay, you can also say maybe, I don't have any notes, but I did leave him a voicemail, and I'm just going to hit add note and track as well. Okay, the data sets that are being tracked here, or that are documented here under the general tab of the opportunity, and also this activity type, get fed into this analytics manager. Okay, there are 7 data fields that feed that are user inputted, that are coming from the opportunity manager, and that get fed into the analytics manager and your profit dashboard. Okay, those 7 data fields is the opportunity description, the status and stage, the probability, the estimated close date, revenue, and activity type. Okay. Right. So typically what we'll recommend is to make those, advise the profit administrator to make those data fields mandatory. Again, you guys are going to, if you don't know the estimated close date, or you don't know the revenue, all of these data fields are going to be updated as you continue, or should be updated as you continue nurturing the opportunity record. Okay. Right. If I go over here to contacts, under this contacts tab, I can add other people to this opportunity. So maybe I need to add someone from King's Landing. Okay. And then I can say, okay, I want to add Sue, so I'm going to hit add selected contact. Even though Sue is, she's part of a different company, that's fine. Maybe she's a vendor, or, just another point of contact pertaining to this opportunity description. Okay. You can also notice here that if I click add again under the contacts tab, I can even enter in a new contact. Okay, just make sure that when you're doing it from the opportunity that you're keeping the company name exactly the same, so that if you have a new contact for Avidian Technologies, that new contact will get linked to the correct company. Okay. I can also update. So if I double click here, and let's say that, I want to update Jeff's job title, or I want to enter in cell phone number, you can access his Outlook contact card from the opportunity record. Okay, so my point being here is that you do not need to jump to the contact manager or go back to your company manager to, do simple updates. You can do that. You're using the opportunity manager as one centralized place for all of the individuals or contacts that you're actively pursuing and working with. Okay. Now here under users, anytime that you create a record within Profit, so whether that be a contact, a company, or an opportunity, you as the Profit user will automatically get assigned to it. Okay, so maybe I'm, let's say that I'm just, an admin or a sales assistant. I'm going to, I can remove myself, and then I can, let's say that I need to assign this to Chantel and Sue. Okay, and click OK. So I can assign this to multiple users. Okay. Under the company information, this is just giving us a quick snapshot of what is on the general tab of the company record. Okay. And then opportunity user tab 1, 2, and 3. This is where your profit administrators can go in and customize these data fields. Okay. So there are actually 24 labels on each of these tabs. And this is where you guys can change this from being a drop down, a text box, or a date field. Okay. All right. Okay. So I'm going to hit save and close here. All right. Now, if I wanted to see, using your search view here is going to be the quickest way for you to, search your database. Now, I'm going to just delete a couple things here. This was from our previous training. Okay. On your profit, so over here, if you wanted to do your, use your search view, I could type in everything for Avidian. Okay, so these are all of my opportunities that have Avidian. Okay, and what this search view is doing is that it's searching all of these column headers. Okay, so that's a quick way to do that there. Okay, now on your profit toolbar, this is your view list. Okay, and this is right now, out of the box with profit, you're going to have all opportunities or my opportunities. Okay, all opportunities is meaning, these are all the opportunities that you have you have visibility to see or permission to see. Okay, my opportunities are just going to show the opportunities that are assigned to you as a specific user. Okay, so that's why the user assignment of records is very important. Okay, so maybe your team has the ability to view everything, but on a day-to-day basis, you're really just going to want to see, what is assigned to you. Okay, right. Now, once you've created, your opportunities and you're building your profit database, all of these data fields that we just created or that we just inputted here, okay, on the general tab and including any of these data fields up here, okay, you can sort and filter by them and also create reports. Okay, so maybe I want to see everything that has based on priority or based on lead source. Okay, to do that, it's what we call editing your view. Okay, so these column headers here, if I right click on any of these column headers, I'm just going to click on choose columns. Okay, that's going to bring me to this screen here. These are all the data fields right here under available columns that you can sort and filter by, and you guys can report on from your opportunity view. Okay, all of these labels that you're seeing here, label 26, 27, these are just data fields that have not yet been customized. Right? So let's say that I wanted to see my next step action and next step date, right? And maybe I also want to see my priority. Okay, I can also say time zone, or if I, because I customize quote number, etc. Okay, I can also move over lead source, right? Now, what I can do is as you're making these changes, this is only changing your own profit setup. This is not changing it for all of your users. Okay, so this really gives you guys the freedom to organize your profit data as you see fit. Your manager's probably, going to want to see something different as opposed to, someone in marketing or in another department. Okay, so as I move these over, once they're moved over here under the selected columns, I can now reorder them from left to right. So maybe I want next step action up here at the top and next step date. Okay. I also maybe want the priority of this opportunity. So maybe I'll put that to status. I'll move my lead source, and I also want created date. It's always a popular one. Okay. So I'll put the created date here, right next to estimated close date and modified date time. Okay. So I'm going to click OK. All right. Now you will notice that I have my next step date and I have my next step action. Okay. This is actually how our teams here at our company manage all of their opportunities. It's just based on these two data fields. So not only will this next step action, remember, is coming from these two data fields here. So not only will this create a task and a reminder for you in Outlook, but if you include those two data fields within your view, you can then manage and use your opportunity manager as your task list. Okay, so I can go here and I can filter on today, yesterday, during the last 7 days. Okay, or I can go to available filters and I can say between. I have all these other data fields here for options. Okay, so I can sort my list in ascending or descending order, right? And then I can see over here all of my next step actions. So I can see when they're due and then also what I need to complete without having to open up every single one. Right? Now, this is how you guys can also create reports. So for example, right now we edited the view under all opportunities. Okay. Now, on a day-to-day basis, you're most likely just going to want to see, okay, I want to see everything that's currently active. All right. Once I go to status here, okay, and I'm going to filter, and if you're familiar with Excel, it's very similar to that. If I click this funnel icon next to any of these column headers, I can filter on, I just want to see everything that's active, so I'm going to uncheck mark lost in one. Okay. And then I'm going to click OK. All right. You will, let me refresh this real quick. You're always going to see your record count down below here in the bottom left. So there's 78 records. Okay, and we're under all opportunities. So if I go to status, and again, I'm just going to filter on everything that's active and click OK, I'm now down to 36. Okay. So this is the most basic view that to create a report is I just want to see everything that's currently active, and maybe I want to sort that by stage. Okay, or by company name in alphabetical order. So what I can do now is, now that I've filtered on that, I can save this view. Okay, so what you're doing when you're saving a view is really you're saving a filter and a sort. So I can go over here to all opportunities. I'm going to go to tools, and I'm going to go all the way down to the bottom and hit save view as. And I'm going to title this active, and I'll say all. Okay, and then I'm going to click OK. So you'll notice that my view name has changed right here, and it's now part of my drop-down list. Okay. So you might have the ability to see everything, of course, based on the permissions from your Profit admin, but you can still go to all opportunities and still see, you know, everything that's, you know, all 78 opportunities. Okay. If I go to active back to my active all opportunities, what I can do is I can, if I click on revenue and I sort this in ascending or descending order, and I highlight, okay, I highlight my, you know, top 10 accounts based, you know, sorted from highest to lowest by revenue. Okay. If you see down below here, it says count, there's 10, there's the sum, and there's the average of each opportunity that I have highlighted. So this is a nice quick way to run, you know, a forecast report or a pipeline report. Okay. All right. Now what I can also do is, if you're about to go into a sales meeting or what have you, you can also export this view into Excel. So just to the right of your view list, if I go over here and I click on this Excel button, I can hit quick report to Excel, and I can export all rows and hit start. And that's going to push all the data into an Excel format. So then you can create your reports, you know, pivot tables, what have you from there. Okay. All right. Right. Now, again, if I wanted to save another view, I'll go back to all opportunities. Okay. And let's say that I want to see, you can break it down even further. Maybe I want to see everything that is active. Okay. And that is in the identification stage. Okay. And maybe I want to sort this by highest to lowest by revenue. Okay. I can also save this view. So I can go over here again to my drop-down list, go to tools, and then go all the way down to the bottom and hit save view as. And then I'm going to call this active. And click OK. All right. So now I have my opportunity, or all of my opportunities. I have another report just for all of my active opportunities that are in the identification stage. Okay. So when you update, let's say that you changed the stage from stage 1 to stage 2 or stage 1 to 5. What Profit will do is once you save that opportunity and you save and close that, it's going to automatically get taken out of this view. So you always have a live report or update as to what's going on based on these two filters. Okay. Same thing with status. If once you mark an opportunity from active to 1, it's going to automatically get taken out of your active opportunities view. Okay. Right. Now, if you're wanting to run other common reports to be ran, just not only on active, but you can go over here and you can say, okay, I want to see all of the opportunities that are estimated to close, on a specific date. Okay, I can go over here to estimated close date, and I can go to available filters, and I can say, okay, I want to see everything between a certain date, 2 certain dates. So maybe I want to see everything for Q1 or Q2. All right. This view list here, you can have as many views as you want. Okay, so I advise users to have a view based on everything that's active and the stage. It's a basic view, but it's nice if you're managing, when you're managing your opportunities, and as you update your stages, they get moved to the appropriate, group, if you will. Okay. Right. Now, another way for you guys to organize your profit data is if right now we're under, all of our active opportunities. If you look here and see, it says right here, drag a column here to group by this column right there. Okay. If I drag that column header and I drop it there, now all of my active opportunities are now grouped by the stage. Okay. Right. So this is just another way for you guys to prioritize or to, filter or sort. Now, let's say I also want to, group by stage, and then I also want to group by priority. So then I could drag another drop down there and drag that other data field, and drag it there. So these are all of my lead identified in stage 1 that has a medium priority. Or these are all of my on-site visits that have a high priority. Okay. To refresh your view, you're going to click on this refresh button right here. So if you've set filters and sorts and you just want to go back to what you're originally looking at, just hit this refresh button and it'll take you back to what you had originally saved. Okay, so what we've gone over, I want to leave a little bit of time for questions, but what we've gone over in the basic training for Start Rate Training 2 is we went over the differences between records, the best practices for creating, companies, contacts, and opportunities, the company merge and contact merge features, editing views and saving different views, grouping, filtering, and sorting. So how to manage all of this information that you now have in Profit. Okay. Right. So a question from Jules in regards to how can you do a mass update for categories from prospects to companies, for example, or prospect to customer. How do I get that to all apply to the same, to all the contacts in the same company? You would need to amend that data using the data import tool. So there isn't a mass feature, right, within Profit for you to apply those categories. Okay, so you would need to, if the company is applied to, if the company category is applied to the company, it's just to the company. If you want it to also be applied to the contact, you would need to apply those categories separately within Contact Manager, or what I would recommend doing is doing it within Outlook, because you can select multiple contacts in Outlook and then apply that category at one time. Okay. From Taylor, the company merge feature, try, and it's not syncing the contacts to the company, even if they're listed on one of the company files. I would recommend either refreshing your company and contact database and making sure that everything gets refreshed. Maybe it just takes a moment, a little bit to update. If it is still not updating at that point, then I would contact our support department by emailing support@avidian.com. Okay, so that they can see why it's not updating accordingly. Okay. All right. Are there any additional, if you have any other questions aside from those two from Taylor and Jules, I appreciate those questions. Taylor, this goes for everybody. Anytime that, if you have a question or a support, technical issue of any kind, if you email support@avidian.com, that is going to automatically create a support ticket for you and get you assigned to one of our engineers. Okay. That'll be the best way to, and quickest way to get that handled. All right. So everyone, thanks for your time today. I appreciate it. Again, if you're a current customer of ours and you have additional questions or would like additional training, please contact your customer success manager. And if you're in implementation, please contact your project manager for additional questions as well. All right. Thanks so much, everyone. Have a great afternoon. Bye-bye.